Fuel for Success, episode 192. Happy Friday to all of our friends out there. Good to see y'all that are here live. Thanks so much for joining us. This room would be kind of lonely without y'all here.
We would be sad.
Well, Matt and I would be, we'd be okay, but we'd be sad. Because sometimes there's just energy from a crowd. And so we definitely appreciate you joining us here live. If you're watching later on the archives or listening on your headphones, welcome. Thanks for taking the time to join us. And today's a Friday. We love Fridays. Fridays are an awesome day in a number of ways. In fact, in my note that I wrote to my daughter this morning, just like Caleb, Danny gets a note in her lunch every day. And I said, Fridays are a great day to look back and reflect on your week and do a little analysis. Say, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? What can I do better next week? And that's one of the things I like about Fridays. The other thing I like about Friday is, just like every Friday, today we're going to be talking about family and relationships. Myself and my good friend, the one and only Matt Maddox. How are you, my friend?
Blessed. Mike, so when I say blessed, that's not just saying it. Like, I'm blessed. So I want everyone to know, if you ever hear me say I'm blessed, that's not just something I say. I feel it. I literally feel blessed. You know what I'm saying? I literally feel it inside. Like, there's blessed feelings. Mike, so, it's Friday, and you evaluate, right? Is that kind of your tradition? Friday's your day to kind of look back and think of the week and, what you need to improve on and all that good stuff. Is that kind of your tradition?
Yeah, pretty much. I do. I tend to look back at the end of the day, Friday especially, say, okay, what did I do well this week? What do I need to improve on next week? Yeah. How about you?
What do you do?
I actually do that every day.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a daily evaluator, but I like the Friday thing, and I'm always evaluating and thinking of how I could have done it better and how I could have saved more time. I'm not a guy that likes to waste time. It is by far my biggest pet peeve in life is wasting time, or people that waste your time. Like, there's almost nothing worse that you can do to another human being than waste their time, because time is more valuable than gold. I was thinking today, I was like, my stock is going higher now that my son is 13. Like, getting me to travel is like even tougher now, because I got 5 years left till he's off to college or whatever he's going to go do baseball wise or whatever. So like, time is like something that I've got by the throat. When I say I've got it by the throat, I mean tenaciously by the throat, because I'm one of those people that live in reality, that life goes fast, that at the end of the day, it's September 26th already. In other words, I walked into Cracker Barrel this morning with Caleb, because we do that on Friday mornings, and what do we see? Christmas trees, my friend. It's already Christmas. I was listening to Christmas music yesterday, and I would already have my Christmas tree up right now, except for the fact that I do a real tree. Because I believe in doing everything real. Everything. I don't have fake plants in my house. I don't believe in fake flowers. I believe in everything real, right?
You should just get like a potted evergreen tree that's alive and just put it in the corner of your house and just like grow it as a house plant, and then every year around September you could just decorate.
That's actually a good idea, Mike. I'm actually like, that's actually a genius idea. You struck some. I might be at Home Depot tonight looking for one, or Lowe's.
Yeah, everybody's wanting me to sing.
The guts, you got to understand, the guts of Lowe's to build all their stores, from what I've seen, most of them right across the street from Home Depot. Now, that's a Thursday discussion.
Yeah, that's aggressive. You got to admire it. I think they've got a chance. So maybe talk about that next Thursday. I'll make a note. Where's my pen?
Everybody's requesting
Awesome.
you sing,
well, hey,
because tomorrow's my birthday, so.
If I'll think about it. Maybe at the end of the show. Maybe we'll do. If I do, it'll be. It won't be a traditional happy birthday.
My office phone was ringing here. Sorry about that.
grab my mandolin and maybe do a little bluegrass. No,
That would be nice. So tell us what we got in store today, my friend.
I don't know. No, just kidding. Today's family and relationship got some great questions that have come in, and I want to encourage everyone that's on live to go ahead and ask questions in the chat box over there, as well as you can always text in 727-341-5599er, and or you can email me, mike@mattmaddox.com. I guarantee we read every single email and text, and we'll try to get to every question that comes in. So go ahead and email, text, comment. What was you said the other day? Go ahead and rant at us, complain, whatever.
Go ahead.
Any and all feedback is welcome. Go ahead and send it in. We'd love to see
I
it.
want to give a shout out
So,
about something.
hey, let me-
You brought up email and text,
Yeah.
and this is about family and relationships. There's a young man out of Louisiana, okay? His name is Matt. Great name. I counted in the last probably 40 days, he's called me over 20 times. 20. Now listen to this. I called him back 2 days ago, and I said, Maddie, good to hear from you. Thanks for your patience. I'm sorry I'm just now able to get back to you, yada, yada, yada. Listen, I'm going to tell you why he won. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why he won with me. 1, because he stayed so persistent. That's what a lot of people don't get, is that in the world of email, text, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, now Instagram lets you send messages on Instagram. I'm like, no, not another place for a message. And so anyways, when you're like Mike and I'm going to tell you at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you the raw truth. This is just straight up here. We literally it's our desire to answer every question, read every single text, email, phone call, literally, like it's in the purity of our hearts to respond to every one of them. As you know, sometimes, that literally is impossible. But he won with me, Mike, because he had such an incredible attitude about it. He's like, oh no. He's like, you don't even got to say you're sorry. I know you're a busy man. He goes, that's why I kept calling, just so you wouldn't forget about me. He's like, I'm not upset. I'm not hurt. I'm not disappointed. And I said, you know something? I like you. He won because at the end of the day, he was persistent. And this even works in dating. You know how many guys give up because a girl doesn't respond right away? And I'm not talking about being a stalker, because there's a fine line. But at the end of the day,
right.
People that have something going in life, I'm not even talking about myself. It's like I've actually had drop-dead gorgeous women tell me they purposely ignore guys because they get so much attention that they figure that the ones that really want them will stay persistent. Like, that's a major lesson for you, Dr. Al, because Al's our dating expert out there. But anyways, and the fact that he had such a good attitude. And at the end of the day, attitude always wins. We talk a lot about attitude on Fuel for Success, but I appreciated that he didn't have a poverty-stricken mindset where he had a victim mentality or feeling like hurt or that, wow, you weren't what I thought you were. I thought more of you. Not that kind of talk. He's like, no, I totally respect your time. I know you're so busy. It's like the fact that you took the time to call means a lot to me. And he goes, that's why I kept calling, because I know you're busy and I just didn't want you to forget me. I said, there it is right there. Just a good lesson. Just a good lesson all around. There's like a lot of lessons. Mike, what would you say? I know you're getting it. Like, what lesson do you get in that right there, that one little story? What lesson do you get?
I get a lot of lessons, but I actually was mentally hung up on when you said there was a fine line between being persistent and being a stalker. I hope that there's not such a fine line. I hope it's actually a broad line and you're way on the one side. All of our viewers.
I mean, stalkers are stalkers. There is a difference between someone that's persistent and someone that's a stalker. You know what I'm saying? You're right, Mike. It's funny. I love the way your mind works. Anyways, tell us what we got in the queue today. I know a lot of questions come in.
Yeah, we've got tons of questions, and thanks everyone for sending questions in.
On both sides, it's all about attitude. It's all about effort, right?
I agree.
For those that are busy, if you're making the effort every day, like the effort, if it matters to you, like if you go to bed thinking, man, I wish so bad I had the energy to return 10 more emails or 10 more calls, right? If the effort is there, that's all that matters. It's all that matters. I'm telling you, that's all that matters. Because I've met people that like delegate out their emails and have like ghost people respond. Mike and I are not that way. And we're just not. We're just literally not. Like we believe in the personal touch and the effort is there. The attitude is not, oh, can't believe they're writing this. The attitude is, wow, I'm humbled that they would take the time to write. No, really, that's how I like pure attitude, meaning like I'm humbled that people want to write me or ask me questions. I'm humbled by that. Now, can I get to them all? No, that's why we have Q&A here on Fuel for Success. So we sit here for 30 minutes every single day to answer your questions. And that's why when Mike answers these questions, these are predominantly from people that have texted, emailed, asked on previous shows. And we're here to serve you with that. So tell us what we got in store today, Mike Hopkins.
Well, clearly today is comedy day, so I appreciate all the comedic comments that are being made. And Britton said, I love this one. Stalking is when two people go for a long romantic walk together, but only one of them knows it. That's funny.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Don't be that person.
Stalking is when you're on your first date and the girl wants to hold hands, and you're like, ooh. Not so much feeling the hand holding right now.
Awesome. Hey, we're going to jump to dating in just a little bit, but I want to ask you a question about family.
Yeah.
So we all have families, and I've heard it said, and you probably heard it said, that you can't really, choose your family. In a lot of ways, you're sort of saddled with your family for good or for bad. But I know personally, I've had some family members that are, close, that have been a positive influence in my life. And I wonder if you've had, what family member do you have in your life that has had the greatest impact, in your life?
I mean, obviously Caleb, but that's an easy one. So we'll leave that alone. But that's an obvious answer. It totally changed my life. Probably the greatest impact on my life would be definitely, okay, there's three people that come to mind quickly. My grandma, number one, the lady that took me in when I was 2 and raised me until I was 4, until my stepmother, I don't know, you know what I mean, in context, stepmother. She's not my stepmother. She's my mommy. But anyways, so yeah, she was amazing. She had, even to her last dying day on this earth, even to this day, I mean, even to now, like she's had such an impact on my life. She was such a people person. You think I'm okay and good at asking questions? She's like the master. She makes me look like a boring conversationalist. She was a master. I mean, master conversationalist. She didn't know a stranger. Like going to the grocery store with her was a 2-hour experience, because everybody knew her, and she literally stopped to ask about their kids. I mean, the memory that she had of people's names and anniversaries. Oh, LaForne, you and your husband's anniversary's coming up on March 12th. And I'm like, how do you do this? Like, how do you remember all this? And she just, dude, I've never met anybody that loved people like my grandma. She was just an unbelievable person. Full of life, loved to play. Loved to play games, loved to talk. Like whenever I would go home to visit, we would stay up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning talking. Just talking. I mean, she'd tell me stories, and she just was a great storyteller. She loved her family. I mean, so many good things I can say about her. The second person that had a huge impact on my life and my family was my grandpa on my mom's side. Not my grandma's husband. He did to a degree. But the grandpa on my mom's side made a huge impact on my life. He taught me a lot about work ethic. He taught me a lot about discipline, manners. He was very strict. He was very strict with me about, like, looking him in the eye. Like, always talking to me about a firm handshake. Little things. Like, he taught me a lot about values and principles, and taught me a lot about, like, keeping your word, which is, like, I mean, he was tough. Like, if I said, hey, Grandpa, I'll be there at 2:30, and I rolled in there at 2:50, like, he was upset. I'd be like, 16 years old, like thinking, oh, maybe talking to a friend on the phone and realize, oh, I got to run to my grandpa's real quick. He'd be like, no, if you say you're going to be here at 2:30, you be here at 2:30. I mean, he was tough on me. But believe it or not, I appreciated that because he taught me a lot of good character stuff. He was an awesome man. He was a lot of fun. He was the type that gave me my training regimen in sports. When I played basketball, when I started playing on the basketball team, one night he asked me to come over, and I came over and he said, I want you to shoot 100 free throws. And I thought he was joking. He goes, no, I'm serious. Shoot 100 free throws. He's like, there should never be an excuse of missing one of these. So he taught me that kind of stuff, you know. He was just an incredible person about, you know, he was at every one of my games. He was very involved in my life. Just, I miss him to this day. Like, I mean, I think about him all the time. He was just an incredible, incredible person. Taught me a lot of life values. I mean, this is one that taught me, like when I had my first car, he said, hey, this car is like a woman. Either you take really good care of it or it's going to leave you outside in the cold. It's like, you know what? That's a good lesson right there. It's my gramps.
That sounds like something our friend Jay would have said yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Jay was awesome. Was Jay not real? I mean, the dude was just, he was amazing, wasn't he?
Yeah, got a lot of great feedback. A wonderful guest. I look at this question. I think of my dad. You mentioned work ethic. My dad is a man of very few words. He's the kind of guy that would teach you an entire lesson by going out and cutting wood for two hours, and he wouldn't like say anything. I mean, like nothing. But that's kind of the, you know, very quiet guy. But you talk about a work ethic. The guy is unbelievable. I mean, he's still with us, which is great. I'm blessed to still have my dad. And
so he had a good work
really
ethic.
Worked himself into a powerful work ethic. I mean, the kind of work ethic that would that puts most people to shame. Seriously, work all the time. And but he's the kind of guy. Here's the way he taught me how to hunt. We like got in the car, drove out to the woods. He handed me a gun and said, "Let's go." Pretty much the two words he used to educate me.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. It's like, watch me and come with me, and that's how you're going to learn.
I can't wait to meet. I can't wait to meet your parents, man. I want to pick your dad's brain. How would your dad and I's conversation work? What would that be like?
That's a great question. I'd love to see that. I don't have any idea.
No, I'd get them talking.
I don't have any idea.
Well, I love that. I mean, my grandpa was the same way about teaching you stuff. Like when he's the one that taught me how to swim, we were on the boat. He's like, looks at me, I'm like 5 maybe-ish, maybe even younger, and he said, you want to learn how to swim? I was like, yeah! He comes, picks me up, throws me over the board. My mom was like panicking, freaking out. And I'm like, you know, like, he's like, relax, and start swimming. I mean, it was tough, you know? So it was like do or die right there in that moment. Aren't you guys glad I didn't drown?
That's awesome.
Who else made a huge impact on you and your family? Can you think of anybody else?
You know, I'm very close to my older brother, and you know, he had a big impact on my life, definitely. He's a lot more maybe emotional and sensitive about things than I am, and he kind of taught me that. But I don't know. We got in a lot of trouble together too, so maybe he's not the best example.
I'm like an older brother, man. My older brother's my hero and my idol. We talk every day. He's a year and a half older than me. He's an unreal family man. He taught me a lot that I am today because of him. He's an incredible father and an incredible husband.
Yeah.
He just celebrated 20 years of marriage, which blows my mind. But anyways, what else we got in store today, my friend?
Well, I was actually just going to say that sometime when I thought about this outside my dad, every family has like this family story and this family heritage, and just, you know, understanding that and knowing about that in some ways has been influential. You know, all of my great grandparents on my mother's side were immigrants from Norway. You know, on my dad's side, that goes actually all the way back to the Mayflower. So just all those stories of how we came to be. And every single person has a unique story. And to me, that's just an amazing thing. And understanding a little bit of that heritage, my grandfather on my dad's side is from the, the Smoky Mountain area in Kentucky, and just all those things that add together to make that cumulative story of who you are. I think it's important for people to understand that. So
it really is. I think it's good to study your family tree. I mean, I did that, and I like to know all about my family and what were my grandparents' parents like, what was their personality. I think it's just good to know where you came from. It's healthy, even if for no other reasons. Like, you can pick, if you're smart enough in life, and I don't mean like intellect smart. I mean like down here smart. Most people don't realize there's more that's caught than taught. Like, a lot of times, if you'll really listen and you'll start studying and trying to find the principle, you'll actually start catching things, even if someone's not coming out and saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even you saying, okay, I'll give you an example, live example. You talking about your dad's work ethic, okay? And you look at how, I know personally, Mike Hopkins probably has one of the best work ethics I've ever seen. Well, you probably, even though you're, like you said, your dad didn't teach you a lot, but it was what you caught from him. It was how he rubbed off on you. And that's why I think it's so important we as parents realize our influence on our kids and our grandkids. Like, my grandpa, you know what, and thankfully he knew, because thankfully before he died, and I did this for my grandma, probably the greatest gifts I've ever given them is I actually wrote them a letter called "What Would I Say About You at Your Funeral?" My grandpa never cried. He was a strong man. But when he read that letter, my grandma said it shook him, because he never knew. I wrote it as a young 20, I think I was 22 at the time. And same thing with my grandma. My grandma cherished it to this day, and was actually given back to me when she passed. And I'll cherish that forever. Because I'll live knowing that both of them, try not to cry here, actually knew how much I loved them and cared about, and how much they impacted my life. See, the tragedy is we don't express. And most people die having never known the impact they truly made. Like, we don't even really realize how much we impact, how much our kids and grandkids are watching us, how much they're picking up from us, because unfortunately we weren't groomed and trained to express like we should. Like, it's sad to me. I love funerals. The only thing that makes me mad is I'm like, you know what? You guys are saying all these amazing things about this person. I hope you said this while they were on earth. I hope they knew that you felt this way, because now it matters, because you're honoring and you're celebrating. But it doesn't matter, because if you never expressed it while they were here, that's why I tell everybody, express it. That's why I write letters to my son. So I'm very expressive. That's why for his 12th birthday, I did it's on YouTube, I did a 30-minute video. Like, when he's 60, to be able to look back and watch that, what's that going to mean to him? Like, don't wait to express. Every one of you should be writing letters to your kids, to your parents, to your, who made a huge impact in my life is the lady that adopted me. I say stepmom for context, but my mom, who became my mom, I wrote her the longest letter one day telling her just how much she saved my life. And thanks for showing me what a real mom was like, and giving me that experience. And, I just think we should all slow down and express. This might be a weekend deal for you guys to write some letters. And you should literally write a letter called "What I Would Say About You at Your Funeral." I know it sounds kind of morbid, but believe it or not, I would express everything that you would ever say about someone at their funeral. I would express it in writing, or shoot a video.
That's a great idea. I'm convicted of that myself. I'm going to do it. So,
hey, I just noticed Jay Combs was on with us today. That's an honor, man. Jay, you were an absolute rock star yesterday. I can't even tell you the amount of positive feedback we've gotten. It's one of our highest viewed shows so far. You've motivated a lot of entrepreneurs out there. Texted me yesterday and like, dude, I had a pastor in Houston, Texas, who watched your video and texted me and said, dude, that man set me on fire, because he's going to apply that meeting. I told him, I said, man, I was doing some coaching with him yesterday, Jay, and he was talking about going out and meeting 5 people in his community. It's a goal I set for him. And I'm like, look, man, you go watch this talk show and call me back or text me. And, dude, he's going to do that. He's going to hit the numbers like you did. And he said the best thing he said was the car analogy. The hardest thing to do is start the car. That was good, man. Some good stuff, Jay, Uncle Jay.
Hardest.
Grandpa Jay soon. Grandpa really? Jay. Anyway.
Jay's going to join me in the land of grandpahood. Awesome. Hey, grand dude.
That's how I'm going to be.
Say a little talk about families. Here's a question that just came in from Pacey, our good friend Pacey, which is a great question, and we've got about 5 minutes to try to handle it. I don't know if we can handle it in 5 minutes, but we'll do our best. What is the best way to reconcile if you inadvertently violated someone's trust?
Well, be patient. Be patient. I think that at the end of the day, I mean, this goes both ways, you know. I don't believe in holding grudges. I don't believe in being resentful. I mean, trust is a powerful thing. It's a gift. If someone gives you their trust, like, protect it like it's more valuable than the priceless ruby or gold, because, like, in a relationship, a dating relationship, a marriage relationship, a business relationship, a friendship, nothing is more valuable than trust. If I was speaking to 1,000 singles today that were all dating, and my number one piece of advice would be this: if you're dating someone and they break your trust, done. That relationship is over if that trust is broken. Because if trust is broken, it is almost impossible to get it back. Now the question is, what's the best way to reconcile if you violated someone's trust? My best advice is be patient with the process of rebuilding trust. You can't demand it. You can't get mad. You can't get frustrated. You can't get, you just got to be patient. I mean, you know, say you're sorry, take responsibility, and then like we've talked about before, do actions of the opposite. In other words, if these actions cause you to break trust, then do extreme actions over here that'll rebuild that trust. I mean, I'm not talking about like, you know, I'm just talking about like make sure, because at the end of the day, as we know, words are words, but actions are what really show us at the end of the day, right? So, you know, and just make sure that your actions don't, like, you know, it's kind of like this. If someone continues to repeat patterns of breaking your trust, or they don't show that they're serious about protecting your heart, or they don't show that they're serious about protecting your trust, then obviously you can't give that trust back, right? But if someone is consistent, consistency would be my advice. Consistency, patience, and you know, you don't got to keep saying you're sorry. You know, you really don't. I mean, that almost makes it worse. I mean, say it once or twice, mean it. Don't make any excuses. Do not justify. Listen, you want to repair trust? Do not justify, make excuses, or defend yourself. Sometimes the only way through it is just to say, I'm sorry. That's it. I mean, just to say, I'm sorry, and then be consistent, patient, understanding that people may have relapses, they may pull away for a while, and then you got to accept the fact that, Pacey, they may never trust you again. That's part of broken trust. Hopefully they will, but they may never. I don't know, Mike, you got something to add to this, my friend?
Well, my good friend and my pastor, Rick Fleming, told me one time, and an analogy that he used is in relationships, and this sort of, you know, sometimes it's maybe hard to judge where you're at on that trust scale, and you kind of mentioned if you're in a dating relationship, maybe just started dating someone, they'd break your trust, it's time to end it. And I think a good way to sort of measure that is the analogy that he used was, he said, when you're in a relationship with someone, when you like do things, you know, help them or whatever, and you do things to earn their trust, it's like you're putting money in a bank account, and you're depositing money and depositing money and depositing money. And he said you build up that bank account, And then, you know, things happen in relationships. They always happen, right? I mean, life happens. So maybe you do something inadvertently to break someone's trust. Well, that takes money out of the bank account, right? But if you've got a big reserve of money in the bank account, you know, if you've got like $10, you just started dating someone, you got $10 in the bank account, and you do a $100 trust violation, guess what? You're bankrupt, right? The relationship is bankrupt. You've had a relationship for a long time and you've built trust. You've got $1,000 and you do a $10 trust violation. You still have $990, right? You still got a pretty good relationship. So you know, you're adding and adding and adding, and then, you know, subtracting that. It's you know, I break it down to a math equation. That's, you know, me.
That's actually, Mike, is a gold analogy. I mean, the analogy you gave is perfect, and it's correct, and it's right, and it's what it is. It's the fact that use it like a bank account. It's why in relationships you want to deposit a lot of trust. You want to do everything you can to build that trust, to earn that trust, to, you know, and then of course just pray that whatever, you know, there's some broken trust, Mike, that are repairable. There's some that we're like, I can look at something and say, you know what, they didn't mean it. They didn't intend. It wasn't like they were innocent, even though they were stupid. They were innocent about being stupid, right? So I'm telling me, I can go along with that, you know. But if the trust is like an extreme, if it's to like the extreme, like that's what I'm talking about, infidelity in a relationship, lying, like it depends on the type of broken trust. If there's lying, then that's a whole new subject. If it's somebody,
well, that's like they stole your.
What's that?
That's like they stole your debit card and emptied your bank account.
Yeah. I mean, lying to me is automatic. I mean, to me, I can forgive almost anything but lying. So, like, to anybody that wants to be my friend or ever date me, do anything you want to me. Don't lie to me. Because for me, if you lie to me, done. That's second done. So there's different types of broken trust. You know, there's like, if me telling Mike, hey, Mike, I'm going to tell you something here. But don't tell, I don't know, whatever. And let's say Mike just like, I don't know, like slips up or whatever. I don't know. I can't even think of an analogy, right? But that's like, yeah, Mike, come on, man. What's up? Right? But I'm pretty sure I could get over that as opposed to Mike just like point blank lying to me. You know what I mean? Which he would never do. Ever.
Yeah. And those are the sort of the sizes of the withdrawals.
Don't put me in prison.
That's right. Hey, so I guess it's time for me to sing to you.
Are you gonna pull it out, Mike? Birthday song for me? Mike, I don't make you do that. I mean, if you want to pull out the banjo, I'd love it. I'd sing along with you.
I'll sing after the show.
Everyone wants to hear it. She said a repeat clip moment. Well, Mike, it is my birthday tomorrow. I know everybody's going to be shocked to hear this, but I'm not going to hide it. I will be 39. 39.
Young man.
You're doing a lot of
all right, I'm going to sing. I'm going to do
tonight. What's that, Mike?
I'm going to sing you you ever go to Applebee's and they come to your table?
How's it
going? You know what I'm saying? I hate that.
If
you're ever with me on my birthday at a restaurant, don't ever tell them it's my birthday.
Exactly.
I hate that.
I hate it with a passion, especially when they make you wear the hat, right? The Cheech Chong hat, the long, everybody in the restaurant.
Cheech Chong hat.
And it's one thing, they usually bring you a piece of crap dessert. You know, it's like the worst dessert on the menu. Come on! If you're going to bless me for my birthday, give me the best! Don't bring me like the crusty brownie with like one small little scoop of ice cream on it. I deserve better than that. How do they sing it, Mike? Can you give us a demonstration?
Yeah, we'll actually sing it from Fuel for Success. So happy birthday from Fuel for Success to you. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too. Hey! There you go.
Hey! That's good, man. Yeah. That was a great job, bro. Except I want a little more dancing next time if you're gonna go and sing like that. Well, Mike,
I'll do a video later.
Hey,
Watch
what?
through the video.
it's been an awesome week of Fuel for Success. We've had a lot of fun. As you know, we don't do Fuel for Success on Saturdays and Sundays just to give you all a break, my friends. But we will be back on Monday lighting it up. And the opening question Monday is one that came in on Facebook this week. Somebody directly sent me a message saying, how do I make healthy lunches for my kids' school lunchbox? So we're going to go in on that. We're going to go in on some other stuff on health and weight loss. Mike and I are currently in the middle of something that is going to seriously revolutionize the world. So just stay tight. Mary has with the best juicer to buy. That is like
The show, Mary.
set. One day, you know how everybody has their snapping moment, Mike? One day I'll probably just snap when somebody asks me that. Especially when I just post a picture and it clearly says NutriBullet on the picture. And somebody says, on the picture, hey, do you mind telling me what kind of juicer I should buy? Like if I'm using the NutriBullet pre-workout juicer drink. That's a good one, Melody. We'll deal with that. That's a good one, actually. All right, well, man, Mike, we love you guys. God bless. Thanks for the birthday song. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. I've gotten a few gifts already in the mail. Thank you so much, guys. Love y'all. Enjoy your day, and we will see you Monday morning for Fuel for Success. And if you miss us that bad over the weekend, all you got to do is go to iTunes, and you can download all of our episodes on your iPod. Listen to us while you fold your clothes, mow your grass, wash your car, clean your garage, clean out your closet. And you can always go to fuelforsuccess.tv. And, of course, every single episode is on YouTube.
Awesome. Make the very most of your weekend. We'll see you Monday. God bless.